What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see, we got another figure unboxing and review. However, today, as you will see, it's a little bit of an older one. Let's get into them. Alright guys, so as I said, this is an older review today. If you can't tell by the scratches on the box, I don't know what else I'll tell you. He is older, but I assure you the figure's in better condition once we get him out of here. This is none other than the T2 Terminator 2 from Judgment Day. It is the T-1000. Now, if you know me, you know I'm a huge Terminator fan. This has Patrick on the front, and it's just super reflective. You can kind of get a bit of everything from different angles. And it has some description about what's inside the box on the back. Another image of Patrick there coming around to the front of his face. So once you take off that top cover, I mean really it's a slip cover. It's not like your traditional Hot Toys box that we're used to nowadays, where it's like a shoebox. You kind of get a window of the figure himself. And I kind of like this. It gives an old retro feel to the figure. I know some of the Star Wars throwback ones, like the 40th anniversary packing and the upcoming 20th anniversary packaging, will be doing this, and I'm kind of a fan. So like I said, I bought this figure used. I am a huge Terminator fan. I have the T-800, which we'll pull out in comparison towards the end of this video. I do want to point out he comes with a bunch of accessories. We're not used to that really anymore. If this was today's, this would probably be a DX. He just doesn't have the eye rolling system. But let's take a look at those accessories. For all the accessories that come with the T-1000, and as you can see, I was not lying when I said that this guy came with a lot, and I must say I'm impressed and I'm super happy that I get all these options. T2 is absolutely one of my favorite movies. It's actually my favorite movie out of the Terminator series, and this guy was definitely one of my favorite characters in the films themselves. Starting off with the walkie-talkie here, it has quite a bit of detail on it, as all these accessories do. You got the handcuffs here. The handcuffs do open and close. There is some metal in between them, a real chain to work. I believe the cuffs are made out of plastic though. You do get a pistol, which does slide back and forth, and the clip comes out with an actual bullet painted on the inside, which I absolutely love. That's amazing attention to detail. Now, one thing I'm really impressed with, if you can see, is that this isn't just a standard painted flashlight. This actually has a film cover over it, and you can kind of see what's emulating a bulb in there to look like an actual flashlight in miniature form. You do get some extra clips with more of the painted bullets. If this isn't one of the smallest 1/6 scale accessories, I don't know what it is, if it even focuses, but it is a 1/6 scale pen. You then have the submachine gun, which I'm sure if you had a strap you could attach it to this, as it does have a ring in the back here, and this piece also removes the magazine, and you can see this as well has the bullet detail. You do then get your basic stand. There's no metal nameplate, it's just printed on Terminator 2 Judgment Day with a regular crotch grabber. This one's a little bit wider than I would like, but it's still gonna serve its purpose. Now, another good part about this is you do get a whole nother outfit from the film. In fact, it's towards the end of the film, and it could be called as the best part of the film. You get the boots, the pants, and they're a soft material. They kind of got some stretch there at the ankle. Actual pockets, and it's velcroed. His jacket, which is a whole different material, it feels like an actual windbreaker type jacket. You get some patches on the side for LA Police. The badge, which has badge number 572, and another patch on the side. It's a real working zipper. I would just be careful with it, but this is a really nice quality piece here. You do then get the helmet with it, and this whole look, by the way, simulates the cop outfit that he wore in the film, And here we have the aviators, which are super reflective. You can see me in there. You cannot see through them, however, but once they're on the figure, they do what they're supposed to do. You do get the belt as well, which looks to be made out of leather. It hasn't flaked any, so I'm super thankful. I don't think the owner before me used it, so that's good to know. Some more weapons here. You get the knife that stabbed his step-parents and also stabbed Sarah Connor in the shoulder. You get not one, but two to go on either side of his arm, where he pried the elevator open and then stuck this in the back of the squad car that the T-800 Sarah and John had stolen. Now you can see these are super reflective, so you can get an idea of like that liquid metal feel that the T-1000 is supposed to be made out of. You do get a bunch of different hands. Hot Toys nowadays doesn't really include hands. You get his kind of gesturing, you know, waving finger look, which I think I will be putting on the figure at some point. It's a classic pose. And then another favorite piece of mine here is the finger where he took on the likeness of that cop and stabbed him in the eye. You got a kind of regular hand. It could be a running hand or a stopping kind of hand. Looks like a gun holding hand of some type. Trigger finger here. A more of a relaxed hand, and another one of those stopping, could be running hands. I know he ran with open palms. And then you have a bunch of these liquid metal looking bullet holes that have absolutely amazing detail on them, and you'll see later on in the video they just kind of magnetically attach to the figure to replicate him getting shot a bunch of times, and you can put them all over the figure in different places. And they got some smaller ones, some bigger ones, so you can make it look like he was shot however you would like if you would want to shoot the T-1000. Before we move on, I did want to show off this head sculpt a little bit. It still looks like Robert Patrick, except this time he's a little bit split. And if you can get an idea of inside there, you can get a feel for that liquid metal, you know what he's made out of, and you get some rippling effect in there. It's really well detailed. There's some shading so it's darker the deeper you go in, and this just looks fantastic. However, I don't think I'll be using this on my figure. So here we have Mr. Robert Patrick himself, aka the T-1000, and already I've fallen in love with this figure. I am definitely going to keep him around for a long time. I do want to say, after seeing this guy up close and in person, it just makes me fall in love with the character all over again and brings me straight back to my childhood. And that is exactly why I love collecting things like these. I mean, this detail is insane. His belt, the uniform is perfectly tailored, and let's be honest, that just looks like a straight up guy in a suit and would look like your average cop that you see walking around. Here we have the T-1000 in the cop outfit. I will say it was a little bit of a pain getting this outfit together, but if you want this look, as you can see, you can accomplish it from the film. If you actually have two of these guys, you can put this guy in it, and I think that's a beautiful inclusion on Hot Toys' part. I had to put the belt on in these loops all by hand. If you have tweezers as a 1/6 scale collector, I cannot say enough. That tool definitely helped me in this situation. In my personal opinion, I believe that this kind of downgrades the Patrick look. I feel once you have all that stuff off of his head and the glasses off his eyes, it really brings the likeness to Robert Patrick to life. Again, that's my personal opinion. You could totally like this look, and if that's something you want to do when you pick this guy up, you can absolutely do. Bring this guy up a little bit close, you can see a little bit of the yellowing on the shirt. His belt, like I said, was a little bit hard to get in, so I didn't include it in the neck strap. I just have it tucked in there. His pants have this nice pin strip going down the side. Into the boots, there's some nice weathering on the boots. If it picks up on camera, you can see a little bit of that weathering there in the creases, and it really does a good job of making it look like leather. It's more softer material here and then sturdy at the bottom. But he's lanky just like Robert Patrick, and it looks absolutely great. And here's him with that weapon. Now, as I was saying, this helmet actually comes apart in two pieces. You can see here's the helmet, and it's got that padding on the inside there. And then it's a material that just comes off the back of his neck. It kind of has some flex so you can get it around the skull. In case you were still wondering if those bullets, you know, to replicate like he got shot and magnetically attached to the figure himself while wearing this puffy jacket, they do. The way this figure looks in hand, I got all his accessories in his belt, his flashlight, the walkie-talkie, the handcuffs are in here. He's holding his pistol in the holster there. And there's no magnets. This is an older figure. They didn't come with that technology yet. But it is on like the sturdier rubber pins, I guess you would say. Like they just lift up and then peg back into the holes. So that's pretty cool. I did find out this is really cool as well. Like he's even tailored down to the socks. He comes with 1/6 scale socks. And I absolutely love that. The likeness to Robert Patrick is impeccable, and for this figure being this old, I'm honestly speechless. They still have skin texture in there and everything else. I mean, it's not like the T-800 where it's a little bit off. This guy, from the pointed ears to the hair, it just looks great. He has that menacing look that Robert Patrick has. You can see there is a bit of yellowing on the t-shirt that is a little bit common with this figure. You can see his nameplate there. This beautiful cop outfit. It's a nice material. The leather belt, the belt buckle, it's got a little bit of scuffs there. I don't know if that's how the figure came, but that's how mine came. I kind of like it because it adds to the look of the character himself. Kind of makes me feel like he went through a little bit of trauma and battle, which if you've seen the movie, you know he did. And then going down to the shoes, the amount of options you get with this guy are incredible, and I'm having absolute fun just posing this guy in little ways and using the accessories. Here we have it as if he was shot by the T-800, like he was going to shoot John. I have his pistol in his one hand. As he's being shot back, you can see the liquid that explodes out of his body underneath to see what he's truly made out of. And speaking of the dynamic duo in the T-800, here he is, Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. This is the T-800 from T2 as well. They both came in similar packaging, and I think they look absolutely fantastic together. I kind of replicated that hallway scene with my T-800, so how I have him posed up kind of meets that similar scene. He does come with a box of roses and stuff I can put down here, as you can see, where he took his shotgun and, you know, went up against the T-1000 for the first time. It was an epic scene, and I just love it. All in all, this figure is absolutely amazing, and I'm glad I added him to my collection. The paint apps are wonderful. The tailoring's great. Is he an old figure? Yes. Could there be things that could be done better? Yes, of course, because we've progressed since then. But if you're looking to pick this up, I don't think Hot Toys is planning on doing this figure anytime soon. I highly recommend it, especially if you can get your hands on it for a good deal. Now, if you do like the films, let me know which one is your favorite, and let me know if the T-1000 is something you're searching for. As always, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.